right, perfect. Hi, class. We are in Math 260. Today is Sunday, October 18th, 2020. This is assignment 1, question 1 that we will be doing today. So let's begin. So question 1 is asking, as you arrive on the island of Knights and Knaves, you come across 3 island inhabitants. So let's highlight that. Their names are Alice, Billy, and Carl. In hopes to find somebody you can trust on the island, you approach Alice and have the following conversation. You ask, are Billy and Carl both knights? Alice says yes. You ask, is Billy a knight? And Alice says no. So the question we're answering today is, can it be determined whether each of Alice, Billy, and Carl are knights or knaves? Perfect. So let's jump right into it. Let's start with abbreviating Alice, Billy, and Carl. So we'll rename them A, B, and C, just so that's a little bit easier. And then let's draw it out. Let's draw 3 stick figures here. 1, 2, and 3. These will represent Alice, Billy, and Carl. So let's do A for Alice, B for Billy, and C for Carl. All right, so what's the first thing we're going to start off with? We're trying to determine whether each of Alice, Billy, and Carl are knights or knaves. So how about we start with Alice, since she's A, she's first. So let's go look at the statements. All right, so Alice is saying, are Billy and Carl both knights? She says yes. Is Billy a knight? And she says no. What do you notice about these 2 statements? They are contradicting. Right? So let's go through, what is a knight? Well, a knight is somebody that can only tell the truth. And what is a knave? Well, a knave is someone that can only say false things. They can only tell lies. And they can only tell lies. Perfect. So when Alice says something that's true, and she also says something that's false, the only way that this can happen is if they're contradicting statements, and contradicting statements can only be false together. So if the 2 statements are Billy and Carl both knights, she says yes, and is Billy a knight? No, and they're contradicting and they're false. Well, the only person that can say false statements is a knave. So, writing this down, Alice must be a knave. Why? Because she has 2 contradicting statements that must be false. False. Perfect. Sorry. Therefore, both of her statements must be false. Yep. And she has to be a knave because the only person that can say false statements is a knave. Perfect. So Alice must be a knave. So we've got Alice. Okay, so, and Alice says up here, are Billy and Carl both knights? She says yes, so we can write that down. A knight here, she thinks, and a knight here. But then she says that, is Billy a knight? She says no. So we don't actually know if Billy is a knight or not. And therefore, we don't really know if Carl is a knight or not either. Right? So let's move on. So we know Alice is a knave. That's right. So let's start with Billy. So if Alice's statements contradict themselves when she says yes to Billy and Carl both being knights, up in this statement right here, she says yes, she is lying. Therefore, the statement, are Billy and Carl both knights, She says yes, but she can't be saying yes because she can't tell the truth. So she's lying, and this is false. That still doesn't really get us anywhere. So let's go to the statement, is Billy a knight? Alice says no. Billy's not a knight. But remember, Alice can't tell the truth, so her answer actually becomes a yes. So automatically we see that Billy is a knight because Alice cannot tell the truth. She is a knave. Therefore, Billy has to be a knight to make the statement false. Or sorry, to make the statement true. For himself. Okay, so now we've determined that Billy indeed is a knight. So we can erase this. We know that Billy is a knight. So now what's left is Carl. So from all of this, what we've just done, we still don't know if Carl is a knight, right? So let's move back up to this statement right here. Are Billy and Carl both knights? Well, if Alice can only lie, Billy and Carl then can't both be knights. And we've already determined from this that Billy is indeed a knight. Therefore, Carl can't be a knight because Billy already is a knight. Perfect. So now we can draw this. We've determined that Alice is a knave because Alice can only lie. She's got two contradicting false statements. Billy, we've proved that Billy is a knight from the statement, is Billy a knight? Alice says no. That automatically becomes yes because Alice can only lie. Therefore, Billy must be a knight. And then Carl's got a really big head. Automatically, we can say that Carl is also a knave like Alice, because when we scroll back up here and look at the statement, are Billy and Carl both knights? Well, Alice has to be lying because she's a knave. Therefore, Bill and Carl cannot both be knights. That's wrong. Therefore, Carl can't be a knight because Billy, we've determined, already is a knight. Therefore, Carl is a knave. So to answer the question, can it be determined whether each of Alice, Billy, and Carl are knights or knaves? We can say, yes, it can be determined whether the three inhabitants are knights or knaves. Oops, I don't know where that came from. And then we can put, even to add a little bit, Alice is a knave. Billy is a knight. And Carl is a knave. Perfect. And that is how we would solve our problem. And look at how much work I've done there. As you can see, that is what I expect from everybody to be showing their work and writing everything down, writing pictures, explanations, and having a final explanation at the bottom. If anybody has any questions, you feel free to email me or type on our Google Classroom to share with the class maybe some of your questions that you have. And that's everything. Thank you so much.